All right, let's bring in our special guest for the next 2 hours. Angie Wong is a GOP committee woman from Miami, and she's a Republican strategist. Thane Rosenbaum is a distinguished professor at Touro University. He's a Newsmax contributor. Also wrote this book, Beyond Proportionality, Israel's Just War in Gaza. There it is, on sale everywhere. So I'll start with you, Thane. Your reaction, what do you expect over the next, 29 hours, whatever it is? Do you think that we actually have a deal or no?
What's the over-under in Vegas?
Yeah.
If you're asking me, look, I'm old. So I've been around for 2008, that first war with Hamas, in 2014, that second war with Hamas. And I've been paying very much attention and wrote a book on this war, the last war. And Hamas cannot be trusted. They lie about the number of civilians that have been killed. They lie about everything. What's the incentive for them to accept this? Obsolescence? They do not want, they've already said they don't want to give up their weapons. They've already said they don't want to not have a role in Palestinian governance. Well, those are no-brainers. You have to give up your weapons, and you have to be from here point on, never involved in the running of Gaza. And then the last thing is hostages. Now they're all of a sudden saying it's going to take us weeks to find them.
Yeah.
Well, President Trump said you don't only have till Sunday night. So my guess is we'll see 4 or 5 people out by Sunday night, and Donald Trump will have to decide, can he actually do what he said he would do? Is it, if you don't release them all, every single one, did you not hear what I said? What is wrong with you people? Israel and Netanyahu will be able to go back to his cabinet and say, look, the reason I agreed to this with President Trump is A, I respect him. He's done a lot for Israel. And B, I know Hamas. Hamas will never agree, and we'll go after them and finish the job.
Angie, Trump really inserted himself into this. I mean, it's been a big issue he's had to deal with since day one, among many other things like Ukraine and domestic issues. This is something that obviously he cares very much about. Would tomorrow be a failure if Hamas doesn't agree? If the deadline comes at 6 p.m. Eastern time and there's no agreement?
No, I don't think it would be a failure at all. Trump has been one of the greatest allies Israel has ever had, and he's brought everyone to the table. That's as much as he can do, and I like that he framed it under the guise of bringing back the hostages, returning them back to the families, because that's all he can do. He can only bring these two sides together and give them the arena to discuss and talk, right? The United States should be involved in it, but not dictate what happens. So I think he framed it perfectly. I've been covering the story for 2 years now. We've watched 2 years of pure evil happening before our eyes. I'm happy to see that President Trump, and it took President Trump to get back into office, to actually give them a ramp to this point. Now, is it going to happen by tomorrow, 6 p.m.? Probably not. We've seen this movie before. We've heard early reports that there are fractures within the Hamas leadership, the kind of diplomacy side and also the armed militant side. They don't want to give up arms. They've said, okay, hostages, you can get them back, but they didn't talk about, removing arms or anything beyond that. So
De-radicalizing.
Right. Yeah. So is this an end? Maybe it's just a pause.
Well, there's more to talk about in the next 2 hours, so we'll put this one on pause because Benjamin Netanyahu is supposed to speak in the next, it was supposed to be 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll see when that is. And by the way, if it's in English as well, or if it's just going to be in Hebrew. But we'll find that out, and we'll get you whatever he does say, and then we'll talk about it.